Achoo! We've all been there. Coughing, sneezing, and reaching for a tissue every few minutes. It's that time of year when colds seem to spread faster than you can say, bless you. But what exactly is the common cold and how can you avoid it? Let's dive into this topic and learn some cool, but not cold, facts. A cold is a viral illness that affects the upper part of your body, especially your nose and throat. It can cause some pretty uncomfortable symptoms like a runny nose, sneezing, sore throat, cough, and sometimes even a fever. The fever usually lasts for a couple of days, but the stuffy nose and cough can stick around for up to 10 days. Unfortunately, there is no cure for the common cold. That means once you're sick, you'll have to let it run its course. But don't worry, most people feel better after about a week or two. While that might sound like a long time, the good news is that colds are usually mild and go away on their own. Did you know that each year in the United States, people suffer through 1 billion colds? That's right, 1 billion. Now that's a lot of tissues and cough drops. On average, adults catch 2 to 3 colds a year. But kids? Well, you might catch anywhere from 6 to 10 colds in 1 year. Yep, that's because kids spend a lot of time together in school, which is the perfect place for germs to spread. When the school bell rings, it's not just the bell you're hearing, it's the sound of cold germs passing from one person to another. The common cold is caused by viruses, tiny little germs that are too small to see with your eyes. One of the most common cold-causing viruses is called the rhinovirus. The name rhinovirus comes from the word rhin, which means nose, so you can guess where this virus loves to hang out. When someone with a cold coughs, sneezes, or even talks, tiny droplets filled with the virus get into the air. If you breathe in those droplets or if they land on your hands or on something you touch, you can catch the virus too. That's why you might start feeling sick after being around a friend or classmate who has a cold. Here's a fun fact. The cold season usually kicks off in late August or early September and sticks around until March or April. It's no coincidence that colds start spreading right around the time kids go back to school. Once you're indoors with a bunch of other people, it's easier for germs to spread. If one person gets sick, it's likely that others will too. Sometimes a cold isn't just a cold. When your body's fighting off the virus, your immune system gets a little weaker. That can make it easier for other germs to sneak in and cause problems. Some people might develop a sinus infection or an ear infection after a cold. For others, a cold can make breathing harder, especially for people with asthma or chronic lung diseases like bronchitis or emphysema. In rare cases, a cold can lead to a chest infection or bronchitis, which is an infection in your airways. That's why it's important to take care of yourself when you have a cold and to check in with a doctor if things don't get better. Oh, and don't forget about COVID-19. The virus that causes COVID-19 attacks the same parts of the body as a cold, so it's important to get checked out by a doctor to make sure you're not dealing with something more serious. It might be tempting to go to school or work when you're not feeling well, but the best thing you can do is stay home. Not only will you get some rest and feel better faster, but you'll also stop spreading the cold germs to everyone else. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, recommends that people with a fever should stay home until at least 24 hours after the fever is gone. That's usually around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, or about the same temperature as a warm cup of cocoa. But what if you don't have a fever? Even if you don't have a fever, it's still a good idea to stay home if you're feeling sick. That's because the flu and colds are most contagious in the first few days when your symptoms start. If you go to work or school while sick, you might end up sharing your cold with your classmates or coworkers. And that means even more people will be sneezing and coughing. And nobody wants that. While we can't always avoid getting a cold, there are some steps you can take to lower your chances of catching one. The same tips that helped stop the spread of COVID-19 can also help you prevent catching a cold. Here's how you can stay healthy. 1. Avoid close contact with sick people. If your friend or family member is sneezing and coughing, try to keep your distance. But don't worry, you can still be a good friend from afar. 2. Stay home if you feel sick. If you start to feel sick, it's better to stay home and rest than to risk spreading germs. 3. Cover your mouth and nose when sneezing. Don't forget to use a tissue or your elbow to catch sneezes and coughs. That way, you're not sending cold germs flying everywhere. 4. Wash your hands often. You should wash your hands for at least 20 seconds, the length of singing Happy Birthday twice, to make sure you're getting rid of germs. 5. Avoid touching your face. It's hard, we know, but try not to touch your eyes, nose, or mouth with your hands. This can help stop germs from getting into your body. 6. Clean frequently touched surfaces. Doorknobs, phones, and your desk can be covered in germs. It's always a good idea to clean these spots regularly. 7. Wear a mask in public. Masks can help prevent germs from spreading, especially in crowded places like school or stores. 8. Take vitamins. Some people find that taking vitamins, especially vitamin C, can help keep their immune system strong, but check with a doctor before taking any new vitamins or medicines. Even though there's no magic cure for the common cold, there are things you can do to feel better while you wait for your body to fight off the virus. You can take over-the-counter medications like pain relievers, like acetaminophen or ibuprofen, to help with headaches and fevers. Decongestants can help clear up a stuffy nose, and cough suppressants can stop that annoying tickle in your throat. But before you take any medicine, it's always a good idea to ask a parent or doctor if it's the right one for you. Getting a cold isn't any fun, but it's part of life, especially during the colder months. The best thing you can do is take care of yourself by washing your hands, covering your sneezes, and staying home when you're sick. You can't completely avoid colds, but by following these tips, you can stay healthy and enjoy the colder months without all the sniffles. So next time you feel a sneeze coming on, remember to grab a tissue and achoo with care. Stay healthy and keep those germs at bay. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more to come.